Excellent,
Right.
excellent.
You go for it. You introduce it.
No. You go. You do it so well. Sorry.
Okay, so we've got 13 legs, 65 toes versus Wildly Inappropriate. On the red team, we have a Balgon, the starter, Inerus, Sveeple, Confessor, Purifier, and a Hound.
And on the blue side, we've got a Balgor and a Guardian, a Navy Brutix, a Sweeple, a Blackbird Purifier, and a Cure.
At the moment, we're still waiting to see the respective teams actually like getting onto grid. So we're still waiting for them to come in. And obviously, there will always be that question of what kind of range they will be coming in at. But given the fact that we're seeing two Balgons here, they're probably not going to be that afraid of each other. So I'm expecting them to be relatively close.
I agree. We're going to see how they come in here.
I think the interesting thing is going to be here is whether or not B3 Ast is going to be able to get any kind of jams, if they've actually gone with jams, from that Blackbird off in a hurry. Both teams have fielded all of their kind of like points at the moment, it looks like. And also, it's like those bombers, huge amounts of damage can actually come from those, particularly if they're using polarized versions, which aren't banned from the match. So they can actually use polarized weapon systems.
And here they come. And as you suspected, they are pretty close. Oh, no. Sorry. We've got some spread out a bit here. I wonder if we have a mislocation on some of that warping.
No, they would have kind of chosen to come in at their own kind of ranges. So you'd find that you're going to end up with some of the teams actually going up like close because, you know, they're basically set to tank. And then you might have more support DPS type elements sitting back a bit. So they're warping out their own ranges. Still waiting for that Balgorn, though, of Dodcalm to get in, you know, waiting for them. So who are you going to go with on this one then, Eric? Have you got any predictions yourself? Any kind of like guesses as to who's going to be able to do it?
This is pretty tight. Looks like maybe Dodd deconned. Yeah, we'll have to see how that works. I am going to go here with Wildly Inappropriate.
And why are you going to go with Wildly Appropriate?
Just because they look pretty close to me, and I'm going to just pick one. To be honest with it.
Right. Is this where we start talking about gambling and possibly casinos and stuff like that?
No. There are no more casinos in Eve, thank God.
And that's all right, and good riddance. And we're still waiting for the Balgorn of Dodcalm to actually get onto grid. And I have to say myself, because obviously, you know, they did get picked apart, like first match that they actually tried, and they're going with a lot more conventional setup this time round, 13 legs. Because you know, they were very kind of E-War dependent the first match. This time, looking a lot more kind of conventional.
Okay. All right. Looks like he's on the field now. That's good.
There again, I'm having a look at Wildly Inappropriate. Looks a very similar format to what they had earlier. I must confess, being a bit old, I tend to forget these things. So please correct me in chat if I'm wrong at all, and I'll proceed to ignore you.
Well, I'm just working on my second giant drink of vodka and orange juice, so, you know, who knows what I'm going to say. All right, we got a couple seconds here, about 10 seconds, and the match is going to start, so let's sit back and get ready.
And we're away. So straight away, we've got like a massive kind of defense bar from Wildly Appropriate. Both sides obviously fielding Logi this time around, so that's nice to see. And those jams from the Blackbird, they're at least being trying to be applied. Blackbird taking damage already, so obviously 13 legs want to get rid of that E-War as quickly as they can. But we're going to see how that Sveeple does from 13 legs.
Yeah, and it looks like it's melting and it's gone.
Oh yeah, it melted in a hurry. So that didn't take very long at all. And that Blackbird, interestingly enough, is still in there, and that Confessor's almost gone as well. It's got a target painter on it. Surely, wow, it came back. It's like that is stunning because I was really expecting him to have gone there.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to go, but they got some reps landed on it, so that was good.
Oh, you spoke too soon. He's gone now,
yeah.
definitely. So
That's what happened.
that's right. There's some big hits like coming in there, and it's like Wild's actually running the Guardian for the Wildly Inappropriate team, and he's obviously being able to like deal with any of that damage that's coming out of like 13 legs, and there again. Wildly Inappropriate, looking very commanding at this time, but they've only like dealt with a couple of the support elements, so there is a chance for 13 legs to actually get into position. And that Purifier from Wildly Inappropriate, Arch Sarah, taking quite a bit of damage and only just got saved there.
Yeah, you're right. And, the question is, they lose that, what happens next, right?
Very much so. So, Sveeple, we all know how good they can be. It's like the Confessor isn't shabby either. Obviously, there is a points advantage at the moment for Wildly Inappropriate. But as I say, it's like 13 legs and 65 toes. They've still got like quite a few options there. And those two bombers can deal out a huge amount. And just as I say that, is like the Purifier of Lamia Love is target painted, and bang, that's it. They're out.
Yeah, and they've worked a little hard on the Astarte and the Oneros. Looks like they switched targets and did a good job there. And looks like the Hound is going down next.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see where that next cycle of damage definitely like took it. And 13 legs still yet to actually apply any significant damage. They're picking out the support fleet of Wildly Inappropriate, but as yet unable to actually kind of like dig in there. So they're in a tough spot now. 13 legs and 65 toes. We'll have to see whether or not they can do anything to get themselves out of this scrape.
Yeah, and they're applying a lot of damage and a lot of focus on that Oneros. That looks like the next thing to go down, unless you can land some. That's not gonna make it.
Yeah, it's like it's also its speed was at absolute zero as well, which is unusual because you'd still expect them to be moving a little bit because even a little bit of movement reduces some of the incoming damage to you. But that Oneros looked at absolute stationary to me.
Yeah, they've really selectively picked these guys apart and done a good job of it.
That's it. I think it was a good call there where they've actually gone for like the Sveeple and Confessor initially. The Sveeple and Confessor looked like they went out to deal with the Blackbird, but B3 Ast got away with that. They've been able to apply their E-War, and we can't tell whether or not it's actually effective or not. We just know whether or not they've got those modules cycled. That Astarte now from Dimitri is almost into structure, so they're again looking to be taken out very shortly.
Yeah, and they've put some pressure on the Purifier, but he's just hanging on there, isn't he?
Yeah, and he'll be absolutely fine now, just like able to apply like the damage. The Balgorn there again is not necessarily looking to be a centerpiece of like your DPS. Normally, they're more associated with sucking things dry. So we're not seeing much of that happening. It's just a matter of time now, I think, for Dodcom before he too joins his brothers and sisters in arms and also dies horribly.
Yeah, they've got some Hornets running around him and things of that nature. He's done.
It's just ticking down now, and I'd say, yeah, I often wonder is like when you're actually at this kind of like point, what goes through your mind? It's like, you're there, you're kind of like they're reduced to like 17 meters per second. You're not going anywhere. What do you do? It's like, it's like you can't lock anything, you can't do anything. Rest of your team is dead. It must be a truly kind of like crappy moment, really.
Yeah, it's not a fun time, and down he goes, and wildly inappropriate with no losses, has pulled through 13 legs and 65 toes.
Absolutely a clean sweep there. Back over to the studio, and we'll get that sorted out.
Absolutely.